Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MJR YouTube channel. It is my pleasure to take this opportunity to invite you and to welcome you to today's podcast. I am going to talk about William Ruto and Raila Odinga's trip to China and why Ruto decided to take Raila Odinga to accompany him at the People's Republic of China, Beijing, yesterday. You know, that at the Forum on China and African Cooperation, it is a relationship that has been there for quite some times. This summit is expected to kickstart on Wednesday 4th until 6th September 2024, where heads of state from all African countries except the Kingdom of Eswatini, which is not a member of that forum, they are going to discuss many things. As it is expected, Africa and China will talk about the issue of infrastructure development, the issue of agriculture, the issue of manufacturing. Topics such as climate must appear on the table. Issues such as digital and technology. Issues such as energy, among other things, and they are going to do maybe the stock taking on how so far the summit has benefited both China and Africa, the challenges which they have faced together. Those are the things that African countries must put on the table when they meet to talk and to negotiate with one of the most powerful countries in the world. You know that the superpowers are scrambling for Africa, and China being one of them. It is reported that since the end of World War II, China has increasingly involved themselves in African politics and other developments, which can be arguably be the most spontaneous development. Africa has engaged in many forums. We have seen US Africa Summit. We have seen France African Summit. And even at some point we've seen Japan African Summit. There is a reason why this most developed country with the stronger economies are looking for Africa and are eyeing Africa. Because Africa has so many resources, natural resources, which has not been exploited to its purpose. But why did Raila Odinga had to go with William Samoei Ruto? Before we go into that, allow me to invite you to subscribe. If you are coming across this channel or meeting our videos for the first time on this platform, kindly take a minute or a moment to subscribe and to click the notification bell. Without forgetting to appreciate our stand supporters and followers who have stood with MJR since its inception. Because if it was not you, this YouTube channel could have not been where it is. At the moment, we brag about 1,500 subscribers, which is good. But we are still chasing on the watch time, which is also very important for us to qualify for monetization. That is the only way to boost the morale of our partners. Thank you and welcome, because it is not my intention to waste your precious time. Raila Odinga currently is one of the candidates who are going to vie for African Union, a chairperson. And in that regard, he has not left any stone unturned. He has seized every opportunity that can see or will see him be one of the best outstanding candidates during the election. Raila Odinga has attended many forums within and outside the continent, provided it involve Africa. We've seen Raila Odinga trying to look for votes, even by attending high-profile meetings and funerals in Africa, because that is one of the places where he can meet with the heads of states and governments who are the voters during the AUC chairperson selection. So President Ruto's pick for Raila Odinga to accompany him to China comes barely few days after Raila Odinga gave William Ruto a platform in Nyanza to go and familiarize and to campaign within Nyanza region, which is Raila Odinga's support base traditionally for many years. So Ruto is also accomplishing his mission, as he said that he is going to support Raila Odinga's ambition to become the AUC chairperson. So he's giving Raila Odinga a platform for campaign, because head of states and government are going to come to China, if not all, but majority. Africa and China have long-standing relationship. We've seen how Chinese have financed many mega projects across Africa, if not East Africa, West Africa, North Africa, Southern South Africa bloc, and within the Central Africa. So it is expected, unlike the West, which some of the African countries have started giving them their back because of their gruesome colonial activities that they did to our ancestors in the past. Africa, for a long time, has been a prey for the West and Europe. So China has stood out as one of the superpowers who has invested largely in Africa. In Kenya, we have seen many projects that Chinese have sponsored and constructed, like the major superhighway, which is running from Nairobi to Thika. We've seen some minor highways like the Outer Ring Road, the Southern Bypass, the Eastern Bypass. We've seen the expressway. We've seen the standard gauge railway line. We've seen China constructing bridges and many other roads in different parts of this country. So to Kenya, China is a very important partner, development partner. Chinese has financed many things. So they are going there knowing that they must look into how they will have a mutual benefit from this forum or summit. So Raila Odinga is going there to look for votes, having given William Ruto a very comfortable sleep, because we know that Ruto administration faced one of the most fierce criticism that any other president has ever had from the citizens. We know that Moi faced a Sam coup, but that coup was staged by the military, which are uniformed officers. But this time around, Ruto faced the real opposition from the citizens or the civilians themselves, who managed to enter into the parliament and took the mess, which is the symbol of the authority of parliament, to signify that indeed the citizens has lost the trust of their representatives. So they took back power, which is constitutionally obligated to them to will. So that is why, after assembling all Africans' head of state to come and drum support for Raila Odinga, and they pledged that, led by Museveni. Now Ruto carried Raila Odinga to China, Beijing, to go and rub shoulders with the who's of African countries, the heads of states, the prime ministers, the heads of governments, presidents, name them. So that is why this trip was also beneficial and significant for Raila Odinga to go get that opportunity to try and sell his agenda, to go and listen to how China and Africa are going to deliberate on these key issues which affects both of them. We've heard how African continents have organized forums to discuss the issue of climate. Recently, it happened in Nairobi, where they talked about environmental issues. It has happened in KICC, where we talked about climate, and heads of state and high-profile dignitaries came to Kenya, including the presidents, to talk about the issue of climate. We've seen how such kind of meetings had happened at the United States of America. We've seen where they happen at the United Nations headquarters. So these are very critical issues that when they are discussed, he who wants to be African high diplomat must be present, so that if God willing, he or she takes the office, he will know the position. Thank you, and may God bless you.